You know how cancel
Mm-hmm.
culture became a thing, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Well, I'm going to talk about Weibo. Have you heard about it?
I've heard about it. Yes, it rings a bell. It was the Chinese communications app, yeah.
So, you know how we had a problem with censorship back in the day?
Mm-hmm.
China also had a problem with censorship with Twitter.
Well, I mean, you call it a problem, but it's a feature.
Ah, that's a good point. And the thing that I don't like about Twitter is the naked pictures or the other stuff, right?
Yeah.
That I wanted them to deal with. But apparently, this Weibo wanted to do this
Mm-hmm.
cancel culture stuff. Okay. So
Okay,
it
okay.
got too big for its boots, right? And it started to go on about how uh, is prohibited from letting their users display content that is obscene, fraudulent, defamatory, or otherwise illegal under Chinese laws. And the
Mm-hmm.
content prohibits also forbid
What?
material that impairs the national dignity of China, is reactionary, superstitious, or socially destabilizing. Do you know
Yeah,
what?
I mean, it's literally. Can I just can you scroll up a little? Sorry,
Absolutely.
because I want to say something. Right. So we can expect within next 10 years if the Western legislation about social media proceeds on its trajectory, then we'll have exactly the same thing, and it will be it will be also prohibition on material that impairs on, let's say, racial equality in America. It's reactionary will stay as is, superstitious will also stay as is, and social destabilizing will also stay as is. So I am expecting this exact legislation will be implemented in the West within next like 5 years, maybe 10.
You think as little as that? Because I know that there's a bill coming their way, and that's the way that they were able to get rid of TikTok, the sister
Uh-huh.
of Weibo.
Yeah.
Okay. So I know that there's a bill coming, and everybody wants this bill because it's going to
Uh,
be, yeah.
yeah, this says section 443 or something like that, 344. I don't know. I think I've heard about it. Yeah, it's a bill that. Uh, can you remind me what it says exactly? To be honest.
Um, it's a bill that covers, positive reflection of a country
Extremist
and
content and
stops
things like that. Yeah.
extremism. Yeah, how
Mm-hmm,
that
mm-hmm.
that is one of them. Then it stops all this reactionary, suspicious stuff and fake news because there was a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah,
fake
that's
news going on.
basically yeah, yeah, exactly. It's yeah, that is it. It's slowly going into exactly what China does.
I mean,
And yeah,
I
and
do
it's like
agree with
it's
you,
the
really.
funniest thing is that it started from the publishers, or as they want to call themselves, platforms themselves. It came from them. It's really bizarre.
And I agree that even though that this was when it was, there's been a lot of propaganda that has been as a result from doing this. So they had a shutdown of what really happened with COVID-19.
Mm-hmm.
Whoops, I said the C word. I meant the
Yeah.
virus, right?
Yeah.
Just to make it obvious. So all of that information would have been shut down because it's sensitive information and it goes against China's will.
Of course.
So it would have been shut down and told that it's fake news and all this kind of thing.
Oh yes, the first reports of human-to-human transmission have been treated exactly like that. They were dismissed as just some random scientist just speculating, uh, while it was quite obvious that the virus has human-to-human transmission because it's the same kind of virus that we already have, and they do have that transmission route. Uh,
Absolutely.
and the first doctors from China and Hong Kong and Taiwan that came out and admitted that, yeah, there's quite clear evidence that there is actually human-to-human transmission. They were silenced as conspiracy theorists and whatnot.
I mean, talking about the conspiracy of this cancel culture, I'm going to go on to music now.
Okay.
This is the
Yes,
music
it's
side, right?
all encompassing. Yes.
So CNN did this report, and I'm actually quite shocked because it was in 2015. This is after the Weibo incident. So China's online ban against fart and 119 other immoral songs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it says China has banned 120 songs from the internet after deeming them harmful to society. The announcement was posted Monday to the Ministry of Culture website. Music that promoted obscenity, violence, insubordination, or immorality would be banned, it said. So, of the offending titles, all these Chinese songs include "No Money, No Friend," "Don't Want to Go to School," and "One Night Stand," right? And even um, uh, this is hip hop. "I don't love Chinese woman. I love Taiwanese girls," was blacklisted as as for a song named "Fart" that included the lyrics, and that are um are some people in the world who like farting whilst doing nothing. Well, it kind of reminded me of a band, right? Get ready for
Okay.
this, right? It reminded me of Steel Panther, Asian Hooker, right? That song is never banned. It will never be banned because
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a good song, and like seeing what songs did China ban. I think actually, maybe we should actually ban them as well. Maybe there's something to it.
I mean this cancel culture. I mean, I couldn't imagine life without Steel Panther.
Yeah, no. I mean, still Panther, yes, of course. But yeah, it was a hip hop song, so it's not gonna be your, intellectual heights.
No, no, definitely not. And I'm
Maybe
not
we should
saying
protect our cultures more as well.
I'm not denying that, Steel Panther is a
That they
great.
have that they have good reasons for that. Yeah. No. On principle, we don't do that. That's the answer.
Yeah, on principle we don't do that, but I feel as though Steel Panther in concert is rare, very, very rare, Like
Hmm.
it will become even more rarer soon. So what are the odds? I feel as though we've got to that point in society where people just want to say, "Oh no, that says Asian hooker," or "that song says this," or like "we
Yes.
can't have that, it's wrong." Um,
Yes.
I,
Like in Middle Ages,
I, I,
occasion.
I can't imagine also, right? I can't
Hmm.
imagine, right, a life without. You have to do this with me, right? You have to sing this with me.
No, that's not gonna happen.
And the thing is, you don't want to do it because by the end of the day, right? As soon as I press that button, well, we got no choice. All the girls and boys making all that noise because they found new toys. What kind of toys? Um, we can, well, we can salute ya. Can't find a flag that will suit ya. That's a drag. School's out for summer. That will be banned, you know what I mean? Can you
Yeah.
imagine? School's out forever. I mean, who wants to ban that? School's been blown to pieces. I mean, come on
I
now.
mean, that doesn't really bother me because I'm used to it, coming from a former socialist country. It's some songs get banned. You listen to them so that nobody else can hear that about it.
How did you do that, though?
Mm, Well, you organize stuff, right? That's what we call it, organizing.
Did
It's
you have pirate radio stations or something?
yeah, that too. Well, there were these like ham radios, but not very many, because what we were really good at was radiographic intelligence. It, so basically, every single transmitter was owned by the state and fully controlled by it. So ham radios weren't a big thing, but we would use cassette tapes that were,
Ooh.
just copied over and over.
How did
So
you
cassette.
smuggle them in?
Well, you just carried them around. It was very risky, of course, but you know, if you ever bought any drugs, then that is the same idea. You just look inconspicuous and carry it in such a way that nobody can see.
I remember when I was growing up, right? We used to get
Mm,
pirate copies
yeah,
of videos, the
yeah,
VHS
yeah,
copies.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it used to be ever so fun. So I couldn't imagine living my life like that, like they do in North Korea and that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. It was
It's,
like it was still like that when I was leaving in 2007. To be honest, it was beginning to sort of solidify as a sort of semi-functioning system. But
yeah,
until then, it was literally like you would go to the stadium, and on the stadium at the stadium there would be people from all over Eastern Europe selling random shit,
yeah.
and that there would be cultural goods that would be previously completely illegal, by the way, to have like American movies or something. So it was like it wasn't like the state would enforce any copyright laws, so everybody knew that there are places where you can buy copied films and music, but they would also then so there was the official side of it, right? The state mandated films and music, and they would also have some anti-Soviet propaganda under the table and stuff like that.
Yeah, because the propaganda part and trying to tell
Uh,
you that you can't do something. You know, when you're talking about the propaganda part and copying and Napster, I don't know whether or not you had Napster.
nah,
You probably did do. Um,
nah, I have no idea what that is.
Napster was this downloading music thing
Okay,
before
okay.
before Spotify.
Yeah,
Anyway,
no, we were using Kazaa and whatnot back in the day.
but
And there's a lot of Russian and Eastern European sites that still operate that you can download anything basically.
wow, yeah, I kind of remember that. I remember that.
I still I stopped doing that for a very long time, but now I spoke to some like Romanians and something, and I reminded myself about the Eastern European internet where everything is for free. It's like it's glorious, glorious. Every show, every film you can. ever name, no matter what year it was made. You can even name something from the 40s, and it will be there to watch on the Eastern European internet.
It's like you guys were starved of all this love and freedom of choice and expression, and then all of a sudden you're like there going, why don't we make this bastard for free? And it's just like, that's what I want to hear from you guys. I mean, I want to hear that why you turned into metal and why you turned into this sort of like folk and really dark metal, black metal, you know, version.
Mhm,
How
mhm.
did that happen if you were closed for so long? And now you've just made me realize, yeah, quite a lot of films were banned in Europe, right? Texas
Mhm.
Chainsaw Massacre for one of them, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And now
And
we
everybody's seen it. Like the fact that it was banned, it made it more. Made it more. Uh, Made people more aware of it, because
yeah.
there's fewer items on the banned list than there are items on the allowed list. So if you put something in the allowed list, there is a good chance it will just be lost in the noise. But if you put something on the banned list, well, that means it's important, right?
This cancel culture does no favors, see? It makes you want it. So um the other thing that I remember is The Exorcist. Remember The Exorcist?
Oh yes,
All right. Now I
yes,
watched
yes.
Exorcist on a VHS tape, and you know the
Hmm.
tracking on the VHS, all right, when
Hmm.
it's pirate copy, very,
Yeah,
very bad tracking. So I
yes,
sat there, and then later on, I think it was 2000, I remember buying the DVD, and at the top it said something about the FBI, contact the FBI if you have like a pirate
yeah,
copy.
yeah,
I was laughing, going, I
yes,
already tried to watch the pirate copy on a dodgy.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, it was always very cute to us when there would be warnings on Western movies that there would be warning that copying is illegal, and like, oh no, they're watching through the TV. What are we going to do now?
I mean, now we're going to talk about